Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers, and this is video 2 in our series Livin Large. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is this ginormous pad of paper. I switched from the collage paper that I was going to use. I realized I wasn't going to be able to make any pockets or anything, and it was all just going to look kind of jumbled. So what I did was I got out my heirloom stack, paper stack. There's 180 pages, and it's by Die Cuts with a View, and it's only like $16. I picked up 2, and there's 180 pages, so that's going to be 360 different pages with 3 of each page. So you might want to pick one of these up. That's what I'm going to use to do this project, and it depends on, you know, what your plans are. But this is a 12 by 12, which is going to help us out a lot with our larger size pages. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side over here, but we may need to go back to it for today's page. I'm not sure. And yes, I have notes for these. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show you was I've cut out and inked the papers for the cover and for the back. Now, I went ahead and glued the one on the back. I'm not going to glue the one on the cover yet because I want to decorate it. Thinking some doilies to match this little doily and kind of scruff them up a little bit. And then I want to somehow put the name of the book, which is Livin Large, but I'm not sure, you know, how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do the word Livin and then large and large letters and then the doilies, that would be kind of cool, but I'm not sure how I would do the letters. I'd have to probably do them in Publisher and then print them out and cut them out and ink them. Now remember, we're going to have to ink everything as we go. So if you remember from the first video, I'm using vintage photo for this project, and you might as well leave the ink out because you're going to be using it quite a bit. So the back page I went ahead and glued on. The only difference is that, you know, it's inked and it's glued down. And now if you'll remember, let me set these to the side. If you'll remember, there's a pocket here and there's a pocket on the front. Okay, so now I glued the paper on, but we still don't realize really that there's a pocket there. Now remember, you're going to cut this paper smaller to accommodate for the pocket. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it sideways. We have enough room. And we're going to take our 1-inch hole punch. We're going to slide it in here in the approximate middle. Now this has a halfway mark on either side. I used a Sharpie marker to mark over the top of it so that I could see it better. There were just little arrows that pointed to the spot, and that didn't really work for me, and so I also marked the center where there was a little arrow there. On my others, I've marked the sides. Let me get this one. I've marked the sides, but it doesn't have a center arrow. But if you line these up, off camera, I'm so sorry, I marked the halfway marks that were already there in Sharpie. There's no center line on this one, and I'm not going to try to measure it out and make a mark. I'm just going to go by these two being lined up, then the center will be lined up. Okay, so this is my 1.5, and I looked at that and I thought, well, no, that's too big of a hole, so I put it, oops, I put it back away. So we're going to take our 1-inch hole punch. I really didn't want to cover this or this. I don't mind whether it's in the center or not. So I think I'm going to try to split the difference. I think I'm going to put my thumb hole up here. Let's see, now I want to get it even on both sides, and I want to move it up just a little bit. Try not to take out too much. I think I'm going to take out the one no matter what. And then we're going to hole punch. And there's our thumb hole. Now we're going to have to ink that because it's the paper. So now we can take our piece of paper that says pocket. We can take that out. And you want to glue the paper on first, because you don't want to have to try to line up the semicircle in the manila folder and make a semicircle in the paper. That's just no good. So we're going to open this way up, and then we're just going to ink this around the edge a little bit. Okay, so now that's our back cover. I'm not planning on doing anything else with it. There's going to be enough inside the book that we won't need to. So for now, I've just got the cover paper clipped on, and I think I'm going to unpaper clip it and just set it aside in my tray that I have, which is this. This is the offcuts from the cover, and you can see why I saved them. So we're going to use these later and put that in there. Oh, on another side note, on page 2, put this away. Okay, on page 2, we're going to be using a sticker. And this is the sticker book that we're going to use to find our sticker. Now, this is called the Antiquarian sticker book. You can get it on Amazon. It's a hardcover book, and it's got all kinds of stickers in it. Okay, there's another mushroom. Anyway, so the only problem with this book is that they're not really grouped together. I mean, you have a strawberry and a flower and a snake. Do you see what I mean? They're not really grouped together, so you have to kind of flip through and find what you're looking for. Okay, and sometimes it takes a while. I guess kind of the nature ones are together, but then there's these hands as well. So anyway, you just have to kind of look through. Now, there's a companion book to this, which is called The Botanist Sticker Anthology, and this is all plants, and it's made the same way. Now, these stickers, when you take them out, are going to have a border, so you have to think about that when you're going to use them, whether you mind that or not. There's actually a sticker here. It's a giant oval, so you may have a need to use that at some point. I don't know why I have this page marked, but oh, for roses. That was for a different project. Anyway, so this is all flowers and plants, and it's called The Botanist Sticker Anthology, and I'll have a link to both of these below the video. As you can tell, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and so I'm trying to talk a little quiet. Okay. And I'm also going to use a stamp on page 2, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Okay, so now we're going to be doing page 2, which when you open our book is right here. Take that paper clip off. Now, on page 2, let me go back for just a second. On the cover, we need to mark pages 2 and not page 7, I've decided, but page 6 for magnets. When you flip it over, that'll put a magnet here and a magnet here, and that will close our book shut and hold it shut. Now, if you don't want to do a magnet, or if you don't have any magnets, then you can get some at Amazon super cheap. There's a link to the magnets below every video, because I use them all the time. So if you're not going to do that, then you need to mark where you're going to put your long string to wrap around it, sort of like a traveler's notebook deal, and you know, and tuck it through. You can also use a brad and some circles, stick the brad through and wrap the string around that way once you get it around. but we're not going to do that in this video. I'm not going to close mine that way. I'm going to use the magnets. So we're not going to cover this, but I do cover it in other videos. All right, so we're going to put a magnet here before we do the page. So we want to cover it with the paper. This paper is very, very thin. So it's a good thing that we're going to make pockets over the top of this. Let's kind of decide this one first. And it does look kind of like the center, doesn't it? So now we're going to put our tape vertically because we don't want it to show up on the edge. So we're just going to tape our magnet down. And now I'm trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do this on page 6. Usually I just lay the magnet down and let it, and let it find its spot. But there's no way for us to do that. There might be. But then when we open it, it's going to move. Let me see here. Come here, magnets. I need some more. And they're just little thin. They're 10 millimeters around by 1 millimeter thick. So that's what you want to look for when you buy them. 10 millimeters by 1 millimeter. Okay, so now to put the other magnet in, I'm going to try there we go. Alright, now it's stuck where it wants to go, but if we open it, it's going to move. So let's take our pencil, see if we can. Now I know that it's in the center. I have no idea why I turned it around. It's just above where I made the circle. Okay, so let's open this up, and there's our magnet. It was just above. We want to make sure that we put the side that's going to stick up, and it was just above. It was about right there. Since it's only tape, we can take it off and move it if we need to. So let's try this out. So that's the cover. Close that. Yep, I did get them on top of each other. Nope. Just barely. That's why it's not holding very well. This one needs to move. Let's see. I'm looking at it backwards, so I need to move it a little bit farther in, which is out in this one. You may have to do this several times. I want to try to keep it the way I was going to put one here and one there. Maybe I'll do that so the magnets don't have to go through so many layers of paper and manila folder. Okay, let's make these, yeah. Oh, that's how we'll do it. Let's make sure we've got this the way we want it, which is like that. This is going to be like this. It's not going to be even at all. Let's put some new tape on this. Well, you know what we could do? We could actually measure. All right. This is 5 inches down. 5 1/8 inches down. And the center is at 1 3/8. So we want it here. But because of the gusset, trying to calculate, I still want it. We want it over here. We want it 5 inches down. Or did I say 5 1/8? And then we want it 1 3/8 in. So we want it right there. Let's see if that sort of lines up. Looks like it does. I'm going to flip it over and put it here. Let's line it up. Or tape it down, I mean. And we line it up. Aha! We have connection. Okay. So now we have our magnets on. They're going to be a little irritating when we're working, but we need to get them on now so that we don't forget. Okay? Alright. So now, if you know what you want for your pages, you can cut them ahead of time and number them. Remember, we numbered our pages at the end of the first video. We took off our ABC and we renumbered everything. So if you know what you want, you can cut the papers out and number them, but don't glue them, because we're going to work on the pages and then we're going to glue the pages to the book. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so for page 2, we're going to do crisscrossing pockets. So now we might as well get this out, otherwise we're going to forget. Yeah, you and me. All right, now what I picked out for this, and we may have to go on pause and get more paper. Is I've picked out these papers here to be our pockets. Okay, you'll notice there's 2. Now I may have to get one more of these depending on how much it takes. I've decided as a base to use a white, even though because they don't have a cream colored. So we're going to end up covering this whole thing, but we need something to use as a base. Let's take the crumply side and cut that off. So let's go from here, and I roll my sleeves up too. Let's go from here to here. Okay, let's cut the width. Well, we could cut this too. Let's go from here to there, and then down to here. And that's going to be our base. Now, here's a sample of one. Now, I did this with scraps, so this one's not going to look the same, but here's a sample of one that I did. And there's a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, one here, one here. Then you put this on the page and you glue it on 3 sides, and that makes another pocket. Plus there's a tuck spot down here as well. Okay, so this is pretty cool. We're going to try to put a couple straight ones across as well, but ours won't be quite, you know, I just threw this together with some scraps a long time ago. All right, so we want it to be this wide. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to need more paper. And this tall. A lot of the pockets won't need to go all the way down. So now we need to ink this, but we're going to ink it again once we get the pockets on. To make sure that we have this white covered up. I'm not used to working with this thinner scrapbooking paper, so you'll have to excuse me and my inking and my gluing. This is a first for me, so I thought I would share it with you because I love you guys that much. Ink that. All right, now on this page, let's double check our size. That's the back. Yep, that looks like it's right. Okay, so now we've got our base. We can set this to the side. Okay, and so we've selected 2 or 3 papers that we're going to make our pockets out of. Now, they're all going to be the same width, but the top of it, we're going to go all the way to the top. We don't want any white showing. So we're going to do the back one the full size of the paper. No, actually we're not. We're going to do it to about here. So that's our, and this is our width, and that's our length. I think I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Right to the top of that little. Okay. So this is our width. And the width is going to be the same on all of them. So it's going to be all right if I cut the width all the way down. It's so weird to be working with paper that's this thin. Oh, and I cut my mark off because it was on the outside. Okay, so we're going to cover this completely because we don't want any of the white, but we needed a base to build on. Okay, so we're going to put that right where we want it. So we're going to re-ink, and we want it to down to about here. Yeah. And you'll see why in a minute. The pockets are going to go all the way down. So we don't have to put this pocket all the way down. All we need to do is cover the area that we want to cover. Okay, so we're going to set that there. So that means our first pocket is going to be the lighter color. So it's going to be a straight across pocket. Maybe I'll paper clip this one on. Well, actually, this one is just going to cover the paper so we can glue it down. Let's glue it down. Because we just don't want to see the white. And even if I had a cream colored one, I'm not sure that I would want to see that either. Now, we actually are going to have to cut all of them with the pattern going this way. I wish I had done it this way because I feel like the pattern goes up and down. But now that we've gone sideways, we have to go sideways. Okay, so now our first pocket, I want to go straight across. So all we need to do is cover another square down. So we need to measure the width. You know what I didn't do? And you guys let me do it too. Well, we're not going to see the bottom, and we're going to re-ink this. So we're okay on this one. But I didn't ink the edges. The rest of them we're not going to glue until we've got it all set up. Okay. May need to be a little bit of a trimming job done. Okay, so this one is going to go straight across. Everything is so big. So we're living large. Okay, so it's going to be this wide. And be sure to save all these because we're definitely going to use them. And whatever we don't use, save that as well so that you have your papers to do your collage at the end. Okay, so let's take this and we're going to go straight across. But remember, our crisscrosses are going to cover. So we really only need to go, because we're only going to glue the sides because our pocket is going to go all the way down. Look at that, it's a little narrow. That's the hardest part of this, is getting everybody the same. Well, what I should have done is measured, and then I could cut the width the same on all. Alright, So most of this is gonna be covered, so we're all right. The rest of them we'll measure. All right, we'll measure. We'll just go ahead and measure the darn thing. So now this one we're just going to ink before we forget. You don't have to ink the bottom, it's going to be completely covered. Unless you want to make sure that you're putting the paper on right side up. So just in case we accidentally put it upside down, let's ink all 4 sides. Now on this one we're only going to glue the edges because it's going to be a pocket, but the pocket is going to slide all the way down to the bottom, believe it or not. Okay, so we're going to put this across here. Wow, that really is short. Okay, we're going to glue this across here. Just by the sides. Now, the rest of them we probably won't glue until we get all of our cuts figured out. Now, we're going to place this one. Remember, there's going to be a card. So we're going to place this across here. Wow. I'm really not happy with that. We can use it for a smaller pocket. So that means this whole sheet is going to be too narrow. That's what I don't like about this. Okay, let me put you on hold and I'm going to get the other sheet. Okay, so what I did was I found another one of these. Now remember, there's only 3 per pack, but remember I said I picked up a second one. But I also marked in here, so many pages, I marked in here where the other 2 were that matched. Okay, so I'm going to set this bad boy aside and have a drink of coffee. Okay, a slurp of coffee. This time we are going to measure. I'm going to call it at 7 3/8. Seven and 3/8. Be right here. I hate anything in the 7s. look at that. Okay, so now we want this one as the pocket straight across. We want it to go down past here. Okay, so at least the power is on. If we immediately just disappear in the middle of a sentence or something, it's because the power went out. We were part of that big storm. This is October 2021. We're part of the big storm that came through on the West Coast. Could have made that up just a little bit more. Okay, so let's ink it. Anyway, we got 3 inches of rain in the 24-hour period. It isn't anything like what California got, but it was windy, and the power lines around here, they let the trees grow through them or around them, and so it ends up when it gets windy out, then the I don't know what I was going to say. For a minute there, I thought I didn't have the recording on. The wind blows the trees, obviously, and they yank out the wires. It's the silliest thing. I don't know why they don't go through and trim the trees. It's probably cheaper just to come through and fix it every once in a while. I was reaching for the tape. So remember, we're just going to glue this on the sides so the paper can slide down behind. We're going to have several writing cards, a couple of which are going to be fairly large. I'm not going to show you how to make all of them. I'm going to make one, and then now, okay, well, we're going to live with it. The pattern's a different way, but that's all right. Okay, 7 3/8 is the way to go. So now it's almost like a belly band. We can pass paper through even though it's hooked on either side. Now we're going to start doing some diagonals. So let's get out our papers. Oops, we want green. And we're going to cut diagonally. Let's see, how do I want to do this? This to come farther down. I want it to be diagonal to let's see. We need to cover this. That's where I made my mistake. This isn't long enough. Okay, so let's just do this one here. And then we'll cut it up to our corner here. And then we'll figure out how long we need it. And this time we'll make it a little bit longer than we think we need it. Okay, now you can do this in your paper trimmer. Take your mark and where you want to end up, line them up in a straight line, and your cutter, and trim it down, and it will make your diagonal cut for you. Okay, so now we've got this one. Let's put it down farther. Okay, so now let's decide how long we want it, and then we'll add an inch. Okay, so we want the next one to start about here and go across. So let's see, go across to about here. So let's make this one this long. Let's not forget to ink it. Save this. If you want, darn, this is the one that's a little narrow as well. Okay. If you want to, let's move this up a little bit. If you want to, you can cut the top of the point off and make a little bit different shape. Okay, so let's take this, we'll put it in here, we'll cut just the tippy top off of it. Let's put it in there straight. We'll just cut the tippy top off, and that gives us this kind of pocket. Okay, so that's going to go like that. Now, before we glue it, let's ink it. There's a lot of ink on this brand new one, this bigger one. Never had an ink this dark in this large of a yes, I know I'm inking the part that's going to be covered, but I just want to be safe, so I'm inking everything. We're inking everything. Okay, so we're going to put this one here. Then the next one is going to be this color. And it's going to start here. And go diagonal down to here. We could make it farther. Let's do it from here. Let's do it down to there. So let's cut the height off. Oh, no, let's not. Let's do our diagonal. So we want to cut from that point to this line. So we switch it around until we've got the point and the line lined up. Save your triangles. Okay. So now this is going to go, let's just put it here like this. That'll be a little interesting. Let's do that. Okay. So then we're going to need to make this one. Go down that far. Once we get the next one, we should be able to glue on the one above. Let's ink it. You know, and I know I started to say something when I was doing this, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. I apologize. I do happen to do that a lot. We're going to put that there. We've got that there. So I like that. I like it. And you know what we could do? I pulled this third paper. And I'm wondering if we did a pocket straight across, in the middle here. What if we did one straight across? I don't know though, that's kind of gloomy. Okay, let's do these two, and then the next one we do will be straight across. So let's glue this one down. And mark where I want the top. That could have been bad. See? So each of these pockets is going to go all the way to the bottom. Look at this. So we're just gluing the sides. Then this one goes on. But we want to do, we could probably glue this on. Because we know for sure that's where we want it to go. Look at the glue we're saving on that side. All right, now the next one we're going to do is going to be straight across, and I realize that the green is going to cross the green, but since we're only doing 2 colors, then there's not a whole lot we can do about it. We could do can use our scrap. I'm not sure I like that. Oh, but it will be covered by our next one across. Okay. You know, that's almost the exact height to make for the bottom one, isn't it? I mean, this can go all the way to the bottom. So we'll be able to glue it on 3 sides. And then we'll glue one more side pocket on top. Okay, let's do that. All right, 7 3/8. Definitely not going to eyeball it this time. Okay, so let's see. If we put this here, this is such a big page. We don't want to put them too close together. You know, normally your crisscrosses would be a little bit closer together, but this is such a huge page that, yeah, that we're going to need to take drastic measures. Okay, so let's just take this one and glue it down on all 3 sides. Very bad idea to glue on top of your other pockets. I'd just like to throw that in there. We didn't ink it. And this one will definitely need to be inked on all 4 sides. No, you could actually leave it like that, but I don't want to. So let's see what we have left of our gold. Quite a bit. Let's see, this should be enough. Okay, so let's say we go from here diagonal. Let's see what, got this piece that's the right width. So let's go diagonal from here down to here. Okay, and then this one will trim the top corner off, so let's make it just a smidge longer. Okay, point at the top, lined up with the line, point lined up in the point. And we're going to cut just a smidge off the top. Just going to give it a little bit of a haircut. Okay. So hopefully when we get done with this, now I hope you realize how much paper is going to be used making these writing cards. I don't think I really did think about it. On these shorter ones you can add tags, but these taller ones, that would be a giant tag, wouldn't it? That'd be kind of cool. Okay, so we'll put this one here. No, that makes this too much. So we'll put this one here. We don't look like we want it to look like we made a mistake, but we've been crisscrossing them. Okay. So glue the sides. Wait a minute, this is our closed pocket. So we'll glue this on the front down here. Yeah, because this is our pocket that's closed. So if we glue this on top when we only glue the sides, then whatever we put in will come out the bottom. And if we put one more straight one across and glued it all the way around, that would fix our problem. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put one more green one across the bottom, and we'll put that straight. That'll make this pocket this deep. All of these pockets are going to be this deep, and then this bottom pocket will just be the depth of that. See if I have a yeah, I really didn't want to end on the green. Because it isn't quite wide enough. And I wanted to hide it with the gold. what to do, what to do. Yeah, I just don't like that. So let's cut one more diagonal. This one we're just going to cut straight diagonally. From corner to corner. We can bring it up just a little bit. It's not going to work. You know why? Because of this little point right here. And I'm sorry I'm being so quiet. It's just this requires a little bit of thinking there. And the old bean has been going. There's just this little point to glue. So the other thing we could do is we could make a large tuck spot here. So then you'd have a pocket, pocket, tuck spot. What do you guys think? I think it needs more gold, to tell you the truth. So let's set this piece aside and this piece aside. Oh no. I've got enough gold, but I really don't want to cut a whole nother piece of the green. But I'm going to have to make that bottom pocket. Because of my mistake. And I haven't been paying attention to the direction of the pattern. So let's say we don't now. We'll just do it whatever way we want. I was wondering if I was going to get through that without a mistake or not. 7 3/8. Okay, that's our width. And now we want to make a pocket. It's going to cover our sins down here. So let's make the pocket this big. Since we started the new sheet, you know what I mean? Then that's going to cover the and we did it the right width instead of eyeballing it, then it will cover the bottom part correctly. Okay. Yep. Could make it a little bit lower. I think what I'm gonna do, I have a lot of the gold left. I think I'll put a little bitty pocket across here. Or should we put ephemera on here? What do you guys think? Well, let's put this on. We're gonna glue it all the way, all three sides. Inking, inking, inking. We're going to ink as we go on this whole thing, so you might as well get used to it now. Now we're going to go like this. I think we should leave it at that. I think any more would be too much. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and I'm going to cut the pieces for the card, and then we will make the card for the longest area, and then we will, let's see, this piece will work out fine. I just want to make sure to put that part on the top. Alright, so this piece will work out alright. I really wanted to use the gold. But this is gold. Yeah, let's go back to the green. Okay, I'll start with this, and I'll cut it out and cut out the papers that we need to finish it, and then we will be right back.